Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the GabNet Tour bus. Today our tour will take us up and around the newly designed Gabnet.net webpage. For your safety, please stay seated while the bus is in motion and enjoy your trip. Also, remember that tipping your tour guide is greatly appreciated. Okay, we're off. The first place of interest that we're going to pass on the top left, you'll see a rotating billboard of all of the great GabNet programs. Legend has it that legendary broadcaster Alex Bennett created this billboard to attract early visitors to GabNet and to lure them into his site. To this day, it's one of the top attractions on our tour. Up next, look over at the top right and you'll see the most recent video of Alex Bennett's Ramble. And if you're lucky enough, we'll see Alex interacting with the citizen panel. Always a tour highlight. Did I mention that tipping your tour guide is greatly appreciated? As we approach the bottom of the Ramble video, we see quick links to all the ways that you can connect with GabNet programs. Facebook Live, YouTube, TuneIn, Livestream, Vimeo, and the GabNet Roku channel. They're all additional stops that you can make if you choose to step off the bus. But remember, please tip your tour guide if you do, and then you can hop on the next bus. Here's another highlight on our tour. On the left side, you'll see GabNet On Demand. You can quickly access any of the most recent programs there. Clearly, a value spot on our tour because downloads are at no extra cost. Please give your attention now to the right side. Look at the complete tutorial on how easy it is to become a citizen panelist. By the way, if you're a Luddite, there's a phone number that you can use to dial in. Okay, we're nearing the halfway point on our trip. I certainly hope that you're enjoying it. Oh look, there's the convenient call Skype button that you can click on, which will automatically connect you to the citizen panel. So now we're turning down the center of the page. I don't want you to miss any of these attractions, so please pay attention. Up first is a link to the 24/7 feed. Now these are going to come fast and furious, so pay attention. Next is a quick note on how you can hear GabNet on Amazon Echo. Next, quickly coming behind that, and this is always exciting, a screen that shows Alex Bennett's Ramble when it is live, with a countdown to the next show. It's always fun when we pass and the show is live. We're winding down our tour of Gabnet.net, but before we reach our final stop, it's important to note that there is a place for you to contact them with your comments. Let them know how you like Gabnet.net and the GabNet programming. And with that, we wrap up our tour. Remember, as you step off the bus, to please be careful. And also remember that GabNet is talk like you've never heard or seen it before. Did I mention, please tip your tour guide?
Reasons why you tune into GabNet. Here's reason number 9. Great celebrity guests.
So how many years is this now with Teller?
43, and that's 43 continuous. You can try to say Keith Richards and Mick Jagger go longer, but they take 3, 4, 5 years off. You know, even when they're together, they take the time off. Continuous, you know, no more than 2 weeks working apart, I think.
Wow. And
like being waterboarded for 43 years.
GabNet. Reasons to listen every day. Log on to Gabnet.net for more. GabNet. It's talk like you've never heard it before. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
hey, that's me singing. Yes, hi everybody. How are you? This is the Ramble. We go from now until when do I usually midnight Eastern time. There we go. Okay. Almost forgot when we get off. I'm glad I remember when we get off so that I'll remember to get off. Anyway, we are going to talk to an old friend of ours we love getting together with every now and then, talk about things politics and things comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, for a roundup of the year, that's pretty much what this is. Here, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Will fucking Durst.
Hey, Alex fucking Bennett. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, last time we saw you was in New York City.
Was.
Yeah.
Missed the place. What's it like? Is it cold?
It's cold, yeah, and I've got a scratchy throat I've had for like a week because of the weather. Post-nasal drip and crap like that, you know.
Yeah.
So I decided instead of coffee today, I'm going to do tea.
Oh, very, very civilized.
Mm-hmm.
Very civilized.
I can now talk in a British accent.
There you go.
And do that.
I don't drink tea.
Yeah. So how you been? Yeah, did you go away on vacation or something?
We went to Hawaii. I caught a cold in Hawaii, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
We did that for a week, and now we're back home preparing for the Big Fat Year-End Kiss-Off comedy show.
Yeah.
The 26th annual. Start December 26th and January 6th. And doing a lot of press mostly for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
It's your year end. It's the make Durst a final buck for the year tour.
Exactly. And this year, because some years not a lot of stuff happened in terms of comedic fodder, but this year.
Year,
yeah.
You gotta love Trump. He's been great for you.
Has great and horrible, because nothing lasts. You know, I mean, it's so ephemeral. He's so perishable. What he says one day doesn't not applicable the next day, inoperable the third day, and then he's just horrible the fourth day.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I was talking a while back. I interviewed Rob Schneider, and I said, "Do you do any comedy about Trump?" And he says, "No, I don't." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Too easy." He said, "It's like shooting fish in a barrel."
I disagree.
Yeah, I would disagree too.
Totally disagree. I think it's harder. I think that's what would he agrees with him. He's a right-wing comic.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? No.
Well, but I was just throwing that out there. I mean, can somebody like a Trump be too easy, and that all it winds up being is bullying?
not if you find a fresh take on it.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is to ignore the specifics and concentrate on the patterns. I'll tell you who was too easy. Monica Lewinsky, 1998, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The first time we discovered the shape of the leader of the free world. Yeah. Every comic, every two-bit hack in America took their dick jokes and made them presidential dick jokes. And we're suddenly, political comics. I remember people saying, "Well, what kind of comedy do you do?" I do political comedy. Oh, Monica Lewinsky. And that was their response. And they thought, everybody, comics on open mic were turning into, political comedy.
Now, did you bash Monica Lewinsky?
I didn't bash Monica Lewinsky. I did a joke about, I never had sexual relations with that woman. He was pointing at Helen Thomas. He meant that woman. Now nobody remembers.
Nobody remembers who Helen Thomas is.
I know.
That shows how old we're getting. Today's my 79th birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, buddy!
Oh, fuck you.
Next year? Oh, Jesus! Next year, the big 8. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But you're still, look at it, you're still wandering around. You got to see Mary Poppins. Because Dick Van Dyke shows up near the end, and he's 93, right?
Yeah.
And he's dancing, and I'm sure they had oxygen, before the 10-second takes. They strung them together. but he looks great. He's 93. He's still working.
How do you know it's not CGI?
I looked. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
some people got the genes,
well,
Some people look old at 65.
I don't know. I've got a scratchy throat. I've had it for like about a week, 2 weeks, because of the weather, right? And a little bit of a cough, and I'm thinking throat cancer.
Yeah, but that happens to Larry Bubbles Brown. That happened to him at 44.
Yeah, but you say to yourself at my age, when you wake up in the morning, I got a sore throat. What's going to get me? Is this the one that's going to get me? Is it the sore throat and it turns into throat cancer, and before I know it, I'm dead? And I don't take the idea of death very well. It's just not in my genetic makeup. I have always had a great fear of death ever since I was a child. I was worried when I was a child about dying someday. And now someday is here.
It's a lot closer than it was when you were a kid, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Network?
No.
The play?
No. You went to see it, right?
I went to see it, and they took out a line for the movie that was one of my favorite lines of all times in a movie. And it's when the William Holden character is talking to his wife, and he explains the feeling of mortality weighing down upon him.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I look, and I can't remember the exact quote, but it talked about aging, and it talked about a man aging and his whole sense of virility, being on the line here, and maybe by having an affair with the Faye Dunaway character, maybe he was forestalling that dark cloud for one day, and it was just the greatest line, and I wish I could look it up, but
yeah,
different for guys.
Yeah. Different from Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it is, yeah. My wife has no fear about death. She looks forward to it. She says, there's too much going on that's bothering me. She says, another 5 years, enough time for me to enjoy this country before Trump has totally ruined it, and then I'm gone. And I go, I'm not going anywhere. Goodbye. See you later. Not following you into that great abyss. I'm sorry.
No. Hang out with my fingertips. I'm growing my fingernails extra long.
Yeah. And the old saying goes, I don't buy unripe bananas. You just you never know. But the thing I've never been able to come to grips with is you never did know. How many people we know? Like, hey, look at Bill Hicks, dead at 32.
Was he only 32?
He's only 32. Dude. Right? A lot of people that you hear about that die young, or they're younger than you when they die, and you go, what the fuck's that about? So the fact is, the Grim Reaper's been chasing you all your life. How many babies does it take at birth? I mean, you never know. You never know. I guess that's the great unknown that we have in our life. We just don't know when it's going to happen or why it's going to happen. So, and that's what we're talking about on my 79th birthday, is death.
And then there's the great known, which is no one here gets out alive.
Yes, that's right.
My dad was born on the exact same day as Merv Griffin.
Oh, really?
Exact same day, same month, same year.
Wow.
And July 6th, 1926, I think. So he kind of followed him throughout his career, just decide what Long's glance, just keeping track of what he was doing. My dad was not into popular culture at all, but he did keep track of Merv Griffin, and he knew about the feud with Donald Trump, over Atlantic City casinos, and he died. Merv Griffin died about 6 years earlier than my dad did. And I remember my dad sitting me down and saying, now, he was a billionaire, right? Yeah. And he owned all these all these casinos and hotels, and
Right.
and he created Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, and he had the money rolling in. Yeah. Well, how much do you think he would give up to trade places with me today? Because I'm vertical and he's horizontal. And I, that made me think, just for what? Another couple of years? Would you give up all your wealth for another couple of years? I bet you would.
I think so. Yeah. 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 But you don't know that because you're dead.
It's a moot argument.
It's a moot argument. You're dead. So, who's going to say what you... Well, you're going to live another 6 years if you'll just give up all your money. Well, I'm not dead yet. So, I mean, what kind of argument is that?
That's some dense shit, Chuck.
Yeah, yeah. So as we look at this end of the year, of course, we were discussing Trump and the fact that, he's been great fodder for you. I remember, 2 years ago when I think we started doing all this, and I said, once the election is over, do you have a job? And you said, no, I'm unemployed. You didn't realize what a windfall you had ahead of you.
No, because usually the year after the quadrennial, the presidential election, people are so sick and tired of politics that nobody wants to hear the political jokes.
Yeah.
But this time, the commie pinko yellow red bastard community got together, and we needed to support each other,
right,
and reinforce the fact that we were not crazy, that this shit was surreal that was going on. And so I had and now people are just sick and tired of hearing about Trump again.
Yeah.
So I might spend a year going back to the Boomer Show.
The Boomer Show.
Yeah, I do a show about being a baby boomer. And then in 2020, I think people will be, because of the election.
Yeah, I was a war baby.
Yeah, you weren't a boomer.
Yeah.
You were born in 79, 13, 39?
That is correct, sir.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm I've had
How's that tea working out for you?
It's not helping. It's not helping. Anyway, but it's been quite a year in that respect. I think almost exhausting, and I'll tell you why. This is a guy who likes to monopolize the news. We didn't get this kind of monopolizing of the news about Obama. You could go several weeks without talking about Obama or something Obama did, because he just did his job, and he did it in a methodical, rather paced manner. This guy wakes up in the morning and says, "How can I get people to talk about me?" And it's exhausting. Not to mention boring.
Yeah, Obama was like a professor. He was not shy, but he kind of was retiring. He always looked good. He spoke in a measured, low-key way.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Totally.
But this guy wakes up in the morning saying, how can I monopolize the news? I mean, I turn on MSNBC, which I'm getting pissed at MSNBC. I can't stand them any longer. Because for a solid hour, it's Trump. I'm sorry, there's other news going on. There's other stuff to talk about. But no, it's Trump, 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 Trump. And Trump bash, Trump bash, Trump bash, Trump bash. And while nobody loves Trump bashing more than I do, you don't need to suck my dick while you're doing a newscast. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, wait a minute. Let's not throw blanket denials over possibly very recreational activities.
All right, but if it were somebody else but MSNBC sucking my dick, okay?
Katie Tur.
Katie Tur?
Yeah.
Well, they got some great names over there. Katie Tur probably went into the business because of all the silly names they called her in high school.
You know what happened?
Hey, turd. Hey, turd. Hey, turd. What are you doing, turd? How you doing, turd? And the other one over there is Casey Hunt, who I always call Hasey.
And then there's the Chris, what's her name in the morning? Morning for me, afternoon for you.
Morning for you, Chris.
Chris. I'm on MSNBC. I got it on right now.
Well, you don't have to. You don't. Well, there we go. Oh, there we finally see your. Oh, you're in. That's your kitchen.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were in a a studio apartment.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why Debbie and I live like we're in college. We are. We're still in college.
Yeah.
I'm a 66-year-old college student.
Yeah. But,
Chris Jansen.
Chris Jansen. Yeah. Oh, is that you?
Yeah, I got a call.
Yeah.
And
do you know what I have to do? I have to turn off all my stuff because I have like a iPad and I have a watch.
And they're all connected.
And they're all connected, and they'll all go off at the same time. Hold on a second. Let me turn off my bell. There we go, my watch. Okay, so I have to leave all my phones and iPads in the other room when I'm doing something like this. And unfortunately, I left my watch on, so I just wanted to turn that off. Because today's my birthday, and people are going to call. You know what I hate about, I'll tell you what I hate about birthdays most of all is Facebook. Because everybody you're friends with gets a notification that it's your birthday. And so you get all these birthday wishes from people you never heard of in your life, especially me. I've got like 5,000 followers. And, well, it's because of the radio thing and all of that, Sirius XM. People just, became friends. Or friends. Well, how we've cheapened that term.
But then Mark Zuckerberg says you can only have 5,000 friends.
Yeah, you can only have 5,000 friends. Right. Yeah. But anyway, so what happened is that they then all get a message saying it's Alex's birthday. Wish him a happy birthday. So all they have to do is click. So now I've got today so far 200 birthday wishes. So a couple of them from people I wanted to hear from. But usually they do it by my messenger, like Penn Jillette did it via messenger,
So do you go through and like every one of them?
No. I say occasionally when I see somebody I haven't talked to in years, I put a little thanks or gee, long time, no see. Like one of the ones I got today was May Pang. Do you know the name? Remember the name May Pang?
Yes.
Ah, you do remember.
Why do I remember that? She a conspiracist? No, that was the other May.
No.
May Pang. Was she involved in rock and roll?
Yes.
Okay. That's as far as I can go.
Let me throw out a name. Yoko Ono.
Oh, and they were best friends?
Well, she was Yoko's assistant.
Oh, okay.
But then John went out to the West Coast because he and Yoko weren't getting along.
He hooked up with May Pang.
He hooked up with May Pang.
My God. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yellow fever.
Well, I've known May over the years. I knew her when she was Yoko Ono's assistant. Okay. And then I got to know her afterwards because she came through town. She wrote a book or something. And we just always have had, about every 10 years I hear from May Pang. And today she said, happy birthday, Alex. So that one, I wrote back, great to hear from you. My, how the years have flown.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, the two most famous people that sent me a birthday greeting were
Penn Jillette and May Pang.
Yes, Penn Jillette and May Pang, yeah.
Ain't bad.
Anyway, but you know what you do? I'll tell you, here's a little hint. I don't know if Trump does this. But years ago, a friend of mine started an organization for the legalization of marijuana. Normal was the organization, so he said, "Gee, I'd love to get some kind of letter from the President of the United States." I said, "It's very simple. You simply send him a letter inviting him to some event you're having, like and name the group something that doesn't have to do with marijuana." Okay. So he named his group something that didn't have anything to do with marijuana. Something like Make America Great Again, something like that. And he sends Nixon a letter inviting him to the party. And Nixon writes back a letter, sorry I can't attend, but we wish you all the success with your fine organization. And they went and ran around with this letter from Nixon saying that he, Well, the way I got the idea was from Abbie Hoffman, who when his son, America, now known as Eric, was born, he sent a letter to Nixon at the time saying, Dear President Nixon, I just want to inform you of the birth of our child, or he sent a birth announcement or something. And the president sent him a letter saying, congratulations on the birth of your child. May he turn out to be as fine as his father. But he didn't know it was Abbie Hoffman. He didn't. This was a form letter, Some kind of machine signed it. So I said, that's the way you get the president to acknowledge your left-wing group, So you might try to send Trump something,
That would
saying we're holding a comedy show in your honor. Would you like to come?
Now, did he say something? I heard this as a teaser on a radio show, that Trump said he wanted to regulate comedians. Did you hear this?
No.
I got to look it up.
Yeah. I mean, he might have said it offhand.
Yeah.
He might have said he's tired of all these comedians making fun of him, because he has no sense of humor about himself.
None.
I mean, the only reason he ran for, if I could go back, this was like Back to the Future, and I could go back in time in my DeLorean and do anything, I would go to the correspondence dinner, the White House correspondence dinner, and tell Trump, tell Obama, do not mention Trump. Don't mention Trump. Because if he hadn't mentioned Trump there, Trump might have never run for president.
Well, people say it was Obama or it was Seth Meyers. Because Seth Meyers was especially brutal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then Obama was not kind either. So it was a cross between the two.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, that you don't have a sense of, Obama had a terrific sense of humor about himself.
He was smart.
In fact, every time I ever saw him
humor, they can understand irony. Dumb people don't have senses of humor. They think someone falling down and hitting their head on the sidewalk is funny.
Yeah, but the thing is that Trump was never had a great sense of humor. But the thing about Obama was, anytime you saw him on something where he was required to do comedy, his timing was impeccable.
Well, he had also rehearsed it,
Mm-hmm.
He and Clinton would rehearse it. Bush, not so much.
Really? But at those correspondence dinners, he was funny.
Yeah, so was Clinton.
But somebody can write the material for you. That doesn't mean you can do it. That you can make it pay off, as you know. I mean, everything in comedy is timing. And Obama had amazing timing.
And Michelle Wolf, was she this year? I think she was this year.
Yeah.
She was, now next year they're going to have a non-comedian because she pissed so many people off.
What are they going to do, get Amy Schumer?
That was, no. Oh. I think she's funny.
Look at me, I'm fat. I have a period.
Yeah, it's played, which is a little different.
Yeah, was that you or me?
That was me. I just got dinged by a radio station.
Oh, is your egg ready? What do you mean you got dinged by a radio station?
They want to do it was my little green cartoon bubble, the message thing.
Yeah,
wants to know if I want to do an interview on Friday.
Oh, okay. So you're going to do it. Of course you're going to do it. Of course you're going to do it. Hell, if you'll do this little piece of shit with me, you'll do a radio station.
Well, I try to save it up all year long. I don't make a lot of requests of radio stations or TV stations. I try to, blanket the market for the New Year's Eve show.
Like, what radio station was this?
That was KSRO in Santa Rosa.
Yeah. Boy, they've never changed their call letters, have they? Most stations have changed their call letters. That one always has remained the same. But it stands for Santa Rosa, so why change it? You know.
I always loved that. The early ones all meant something. WGN in Chicago, was by the Tribune, and WGN stands for World's Greatest Newspaper.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
And our news channel in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, was WTMJ, which stood for the Milwaukee Journal.
Oh, I thought it stood for like your jaw getting.
TMJ. I can't commit fellatio. TMJ.
Well, I worked for KTIM in San Rafael, which
stands for Tim.
No, this is Marin.
This is Marin. Oh, was that an afterthought? Was that a
no?
Was that a?
That's why.
I think that was aftermarket.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. They created the station. It was in Marin, and they called it KTIM. This is Marin. It was owned by the Independent Journal.
Oh, okay.
They could have called it KTIJ, but they didn't.
Yeah.
They called it KTIM.
But it might have been Independent Marin when it first started. We don't know.
Well, no, but when it started, I think in '47 or sometime like that. And I know the guy that started it, and that was what they called it for. In San Francisco, you had
I like the origin of call letters. You know.
Yeah. Well, here's an interesting one in San Francisco. KCBS wasn't always KCBS. It was KQW.
K what?
KQW.
KQW.
Yeah, now I don't know where they got the call letters from, but that was technically, there's a fight, but they say that may have been the first radio station in the United States.
KQW?
Yeah, which then became KCBS.
How did they decide that east of the Mississippi would be W's?
I don't know.
And west of the Mississippi would be K's.
I have no idea.
No,
I have no idea. And Mexico is Mexico is X, and Canada is C.
Canada is C.
Yeah. So a little radio history for you.
The show is not just a celebration of Falderall and of birthdays. It's also educational.
Well, also in San Francisco, you don't remember the days when KNBR was at one time KNBC. Until they decided they wanted those call letters for their Los Angeles television station.
Right.
And before it was KNBC, it was KPO. And there were two stations in the same building, KPO and KGO. And KGO there was the blue and the red network.
Right.
And when finally they had to separate and one became ABC and the other one stayed with NBC, they still remained in the same building, but KPO and KGO were in the same building. And then KPO became, as I say, KNBC, and then it became KNBR.
Very good.
See, I know my radio history. Is that not amazing? So when you go in to do your year-end radio stuff at these stations, say, do you know your call letter used to be? Do you know the history of that? And you don't have to credit me with it. You can just look infinitely like the smartest ass in the world, which you are anyway. So
no. I mean, this. When you consult the Delphi, I mean, it's nice. You got to let people know you saw the Oracle.
Yeah. Well, the Oracle is a little older than he was last year. Hey, we've gone overtime.
A little older than he was yesterday.
Yeah, actually, and hopefully I'll be older tomorrow than I am today. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for being here all year long, Will, and we'll get together the first of the year and do this once again because I really enjoy this.
You have a happy birthday. Say hello to your lovely wife.
I will. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and attractive Will Durst. He's doing his year-end show.
Year-end kiss-off comedy show.
So if you're in the Bay Area, and a lot of our people are,
WillDurst.com.
Go to WillDurst.com. You'll find out where he's going to be. There are a lot of different dates for that. Thank you very much, Will.
Thank you, buddy.
Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GABNET, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Oh, I had to do all those things fast. Yeah. So anyway, hello, welcome back. This is Alex, and I thank Will Durst. He is just a joy to deal with and to talk to and to muddle through things with, and I think the world of him. And he's been very good to us by doing this show on a rather constant basis. Anyway, I have opened the lines so that if you want to call this damn program, you can do so. If you don't know how to do it, you can use Skype. And if you don't know how to use Skype and you don't know how the whole process goes, go over to our GABNET page, gabnet.net, gabnet.net, okay? And over on the right-hand side of the page, whole tutorial on how to do it. Tells you how to get Skype, how to call on Skype. It's even got a little button. Believe it or not, there's a little button there that if you've got Skype turned on your computer, then you just click that and it'll call the program. Simple? Okay. That's simple, and you should try it sometime if you haven't already. But we do have a lot of people, and here. Oh, what do you know? We haven't heard from this guy. We haven't heard from you in a couple of weeks, but I hear you were moving, right, Scott Boddicker?
I have moved.
You have moved. You're in the new house.
Yeah, it's a little dark in this room, but hey, before we get started, you were talking about radio stations and W's and K's and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Where do you think Iowa is? Is it east or west of the Mississippi?
Iowa?
Yeah.
It's, where is it? I think it's west of the Mississippi, isn't it?
It is. I can name you 3 radio stations in Iowa that start with a W.
And they're on the west side of the Mississippi.
Yes.
Wow. Well, okay. All right. Well, yeah, you go to Iowa all the time. Hello, by the way, to the lovely Stein family we have there tonight.
I'm just dropping in to wish you a happy birthday, Alex.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. I appreciate it.
You have a wonderful day.
Yeah, well, it was a very mediocre day for me. I did absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Okay, well, that was going to be my question. By the way, happy birthday. What nothing did you do?
Nothing. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. We were going to go out. We were going to have dinner. Right. And then I looked at the temperature.
What were you going to do? Roll your wife down the elevator shaft?
Well, the temperature was under.
Freezing.
It was in the 30s, and that was for starters. And then, of course, we had her with her indigency, which she could have walked to the restaurant because she's doing okay. She's picking up now. She's starting to. You know, she's getting to look like
New Yorkers can order everything.
Getting to look like the telethon worked. Okay,
well, it gets icy there. You can just push her and let her slide to the restaurant.
Yeah. So anyway, and I wasn't feeling too well either. So, I've been having some kind of sore throat or something like that. I don't know. It's cancer, But hello there, Rob. How are you this evening?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, there he is. He's in the dark.
The wife is downstairs watching TV where I normally sit, so I figured I'd come up here.
Oh, okay. All right. But anyway, so I didn't do anything today. I mean, it was kind of with her and her situation. We were going to go to this very nice restaurant that she had planned 2 months ago that we like going to, but unfortunately. She had this accident, and going there would have been kind of an impossibility for us. So we didn't do it. You know?
Yeah, you must have been having a quiet day, because I wrote you and I said happy birthday, and you wrote me back thanks like within a half a second.
Well, I'll tell you what it was. Here's what happens.
You were sitting there with the thanks button?
Well, you should be able to opt out of something if you want to on Facebook, but they don't allow you to. And what you should be able to opt out of is allowing people to know when it's your birthday.
Well, we know it was your birthday.
Well, wait a minute. No, because I've got 5,000 people who are attached to my page, and each one of those 5,000 people get a message that says, it's Alex Bennett's birthday. Would you like to wish him a happy birthday? And all they have to do is just click the button to go click, right? So without even thinking about it, I got almost 500 birthday wishes, right?
That's better than you do on the Ramble postings.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, then I gotta go through all of them, because there are some people there that I know, and I just want to say thanks, like I did with you, although yours was a message.
It was easy. It was I sent you a picture and a happy birthday.
Yeah, and I wrote back thanks. Yeah. What do you want? You want a blowjob? What?
You can send money.
I could do that. Anyway, so here's what I then go through them, and I go, oh, hey, look, so and so wished me happy birthday. I haven't talked to them in a while, so I write thanks. Give me a call. We should talk soon, or something like that. And I got a few that every now and then I get a few, and I go, oh, how did they remember? Well, because they got the thing, and they said, oh, it is Alex Bennett's birthday. They don't know how old I am, but So.
Yeah.
But but I wish I could opt out of that, because it's a lot of work going through 500.
How does it feel to have a birthday on the day that Penny Marshall died?
I don't think it will be remembered as that.
No.
It's also the day it's Steven Spielberg's birthday today.
Did he die?
Keith Richards is 75 today.
He's been dead for a long time.
I think this was Beethoven's birthday, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly.
I forgot to send him a note.
Yeah. Let me see here. Who else's birthday is today? There are a couple other people. Yeah. So I share my birthday with a couple of people, and what the hell? It's fine with me. But, I got somebody who wrote me and said, it's also Keith Richards' birthday, but he's only 75. And I'm
a youngster.
Yeah.
But you know what? You look better than he does.
Well, anybody does.
That's true.
Most people 5 days dead look better than Keith Richards.
Yeah.
I wonder how Keith Richards must have no vanity whatsoever. He doesn't give a shit what he looks like. He
can afford that.
He can afford it. Yeah, he can say, I got enough money. Fuck you. But of all the people that's still alive, him.
Did I read something that he either had a child late in life and stopped all his drug use and other use, and maybe that's why he's still alive?
No, I think he stopped his drug use because he realized it was going to kill him. And they had a system. They had a thing. Did you hear this, Rob, that Keith Richards had a special thing done to get him off drugs? They changed the entire blood in his system, which immediately cleaned him out.
Really?
And then the only thing he had to do was not do drugs, because the urge wasn't there, because the withdrawal symptoms weren't, because there was no residual heroin in his blood. So,
it's interesting.
Yeah. Now, if I could,
why don't they just do that with everybody?
Well, because it's too expensive.
My friend,
6 quarts of blood can't. Well, we got enough
trouble. We got enough trouble when there's a fire or something, and they need enough blood to take care of the.
I have a friend that his daughter has MS. And he took her to Moscow, where they took all the blood out, and then they injected stem cells, and supposedly it helped, but $50,000 later, we're not sure. Yeah. And he just had it done a few months ago.
And that's of course what's made Putin a billionaire. So
yeah, well, they wash all the blood out and they put in stem cells and some other stuff, and it takes 2 weeks of these treatments.
I think I had somebody that I knew that had their blood replaced, and that did it for them. They got off heroin that way.
Wow!
But you got to be able to afford it. You know, it's not cheap.
Yeah, I guess they use a lot of blood to wash it through.
I have no idea. You know, I don't need it. You know, so where's that noise coming from? It's a little bit of noise. Is it? Oh well,
I don't know.
I'm looking to see where the noise is coming from. Yeah. Anyway, no. So I didn't have much of a birthday today. It was. I didn't even get any presents now that I think about it. So, you know, I always, when I was a kid, I loved my birthday because I was the only child in the family. And so all the attention was placed. What are you giving me the no sign for? Are you nodding your head no, Scott? Like you're not surprised to find out I was an only child?
No, I'm not surprised.
Oh, okay.
You know what your present was? It was 1 more year of good health, and that's a pretty damn good present. You know.
Are you guaranteeing that?
Well, that's what you had this year.
Well,
so,
you know, I can get bad health during the year.
Well, we'll watch out for you.
You know. So, well, anyway.
Maybe you get your blood transfused, and you know.
Anyway, let me see here. So. You know, I didn't have much of a birthday today. It wasn't like the old days where there were a whole bunch of presents and, you know, things like that. And I don't know.
What kind of birthday can you have when you say thank you 500 times?
Exactly. Well, also you know, Marjorie will say to me, well, what do you want for your birthday? And I can't think of anything I want for my birthday, you know?
You know, I understand Christmas is coming. There isn't a thing in the world that I want. Nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
No more junk. I don't need any other toys.
Bullshit.
I'm just done.
Buying something soon enough.
Oh, listen, you got to get Faye something. Otherwise, she'll never let you forget it.
Yeah, I'll get her, but I don't want anything. You know, now I bought stuff that I don't even use. The last thing I bought was this. It's called the Arsenal. And what it does is it goes on top of a camera and it electronically takes all sorts of different pictures to combine it and make portraits or landscapes that are totally in focus and perfectly exposed. It was some Kickstarter thing. And I haven't even opened the box. You know, I got to stop buying this crap.
Well, you know, you do buy, you do overbuy, you know, but you know that's you know, and I suppose if I had the money, I'd be doing stupid shit like that too, you know.
Yeah. But
I don't right now, so I'm careful about what I buy and where I buy it and so on. Like I'm thinking of buying that Mac garbage can. That's what they call it. I'm thinking of buying it off of what do you call it? eBay. Because supposedly some of these companies are very reputable and they have good ratings and they refurbish the machines. And so, you know, refurb is just as good as anything else.
You can get a 6-core with 16 gigs for $29.99 from Apple.
Yeah, but you know what I can get from them? From these guys?
What?
I can get a 12-core with 1,000 gigs of storage, of flash storage. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so for 3,200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very.
I've got a 6-core and it's fine. You know.
Yeah, well, let's not get into this. I'm sick and tired. No more tech talk on this show.
Yeah.
No more tech talk.
All right. No more Trump.
No, we can't do that.
Oh no, we couldn't do that. But anyway, so I imagine if you buy something off of eBay and especially something like a Mac, it's probably in pretty good shape. They say there are no dings; it's like new. You know, they have their technicians refurbish it and make sure everything's working properly. So, you know, and there's a 100% satisfaction guarantee in some of these companies. So what the hell, you know? So that's my, you know, my other thing. And then
I think you'll like it.
Yeah. Then again, well, I haven't bought it yet. Then again, I got this thing. I've been reading about it. I understand everything now about raids. Okay, so you don't have to tell me.
I sent you something.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could have read it.
No, I think I pretty much understand it. You know.
All right. I knew you would.
And then if one of your drives goes bad, you pull it out, you put the next one in, it rebuilds.
And it heals it, right.
It heals it, yeah. So that sounds like a good idea to me. I've got this thing, and I bought 4 drives for it. Now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put on it, because I have other network drives that are working just fine. Yes, Jeff.
What kind of drives did you get? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Patrick.
I got the ones you suggested.
Reds?
No, Enterprise.
Oh, yeah.
Enterprise for 7,200 RPM.
Robin.
Yeah, $89 a piece.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So, but
mine didn't arrive yet.
Mine are coming Friday.
Yeah, I'm supposed to get mine Thursday.
Yeah, well, that's why they're not here yet.
Because the company we ordered it from didn't have them in stock.
Oh, they said they weren't going to have them till the 19th.
And then we got an email saying it was coming sooner.
Shipping. Yeah. So
anyway, they sent you Alex's.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, so we're, I figure it's what the hell, I didn't pay for the box because I realized I had this American Express rewards points, and it took care of the whole cost of the goddamn thing.
Is that different than miles?
Yes. I don't know. Somehow I got them. Gary, my business manager, said you probably got them because for years you were using the American Express at Costco.
Right.
And so it just built up and built up and built up and built up. And I may have signed up for the rewards program. All you had to do was sign up for it. And so by the time, and I forgot about it. And then I saw this thing on Amazon that said this would cost $0 if you use, and it can check to see how many rewards points you have. And I went, what's that about? And I called Gary and I said, what is it? And he says, I don't know. Look it up. I looked up reward points, and they said, and I checked in with my account, and they said, oh, you have so many rewards points. It took care of a $289 unit.
Very nice.
Bad. Yeah. I mean, what else am I going to use that for? Blowjobs in Caracas? I love using the word blowjobs. Do you notice that? That's my sense of humor. Blowjobs in Caracas. Where did I come up with that? Hello, Kevin. Oh, Kevin's on the phone. Hi, Tony.
Hi. Happy birthday.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's my birthday today, and I'm 79 years old. And I don't know, does that get me a seat on the subway at all? Is it
not in New York?
Not in New York. You know what pisses me off is when I get on the subway. See, I mean, come on, I'm old. All right, I'm 79 years old. All right.
Yeah.
I should get a seat on the subway. I'm on the subway, standing there, and there's some woman with her kid, a little tot, right? Who's taking up a seat. Now, whatever.
You remember the saying,
yes.
Little enough to ride for free, little enough to ride your knee.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
And I'm going, and sometimes I'll see mothers let the kids sit and they'll stand. And I'm going, what are you trying to do? This is a kid. He's resilient. Let him stand. Fuck him.
Duct tape him to the pole.
Am I right, Jeff?
I agree.
My parents would never let me sit if there was an elderly person standing.
Yeah.
Get up and give that person your seat.
Yeah.
I've had people bump me out of seats going to the handicap seats. I have a cane, and people bump me out of the way.
Holy crap.
They don't even have a wheelchair problem.
assholes.
You ought to make a T-shirt for
Hey,
that.
you know what I want to do?
I'm sure. Patrick knows that story.
I told girlfriend this, and I said I came back from Costco the other day, and I said we've got 4 more weeks to get you over to Costco. And she said, "What do you mean 4 more weeks to get me over to Costco?" And I said,
"Oh, you got the thing you could ride."
I said we got 4 more weeks that you could go there and use one of those carts.
Right in front, Alex. It's great.
You can use the cart even if you're not disabled. You just take it.
No. You have to show your cripple card.
Yeah, you gotta. We bring my brother says, "Get mommy's handicap thing. We'll park in the front." We did. It's Sunday.
Well, no, that's parking. I'm talking about the carts that they
the
have.
electric.
I don't need the car because she wasn't with us.
Yeah, well, no, but
make you show it out
I
there.
don't care if you don't need the cart. I want her to be able to. We never can use those fucking carts. I want to be able to have her use it.
Yeah.
They make you show it out there?
Really?
What?
They make you show your card out there?
No.
Card?
No, I'm kidding.
No.
They're pretty strong.
But I don't think they would like it very much if I walked in not being crippled. Do you mind me using that term?
But they don't know. They don't know if you have problems walking.
Wait a minute.
Or...
Patrick, am I being insensitive at all?
No. I mean, you don't know if people have heart or breathing conditions.
True.
That's why I don't get upset when I see people who can walk parking in handicapped spots, because I don't know what their health issue is.
Yeah.
What the problem is if they look like a fucking moron.
Now Patrick doesn't need a scooter because he brings his own chair.
I never use a scooter anyway.
You use it anyway?
I couldn't use it.
Oh yeah.
It's not safe enough for me to transfer out of my chair into. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I know what you're saying, Patrick, because I've there's a Target here. When one night I was leaving Target, and we got a bunch of rednecks that like to park their 4-wheel drive trucks. The kids, they park their 4-wheel drive trucks out in the parking lot, and they were out there doing bumper cars with the scooters, and I got pissed. I went out there and I go, "You assholes, put them things back," and they just laughed at me. So I called the cops. And I said, they're out there playing bumper cars with the frickin', I'm a crusty old man.
Yeah.
So I yelled at them.
What are they? They yelling Santa Claus called the cops on us.
That's exactly what I said. You assholes. I go, there's people that need those things, you jack-offs.
Yeah.
Get your sleigh and,
And I called the manager of the store and sent them in there, and that's those kids again. God dang it!
Get off my lawn.
You know what you could do. I was just
thinking.
Of course,
I probably would have done it when I was a kid.
I was just hello there, by the way, to Josh Wheeler, who's joining us. Remember Josh?
Hello.
He's called us last week too. Anyway, I was just thinking of Kevin. That since it's Santa Claus time and you're not doing Santa Claus this time of the year, why don't you put yourself in a Muslim outfit? Because you would pass for that now.
He's going in for an operation. He doesn't want to piss anybody off. Only 2 days away.
I could show you my driver's license from about 6 years ago, and you would think I was a terrorist.
Really?
That's when everything was black.
Yeah. There's Josh. Hello, Josh.
Hello. How you doing?
Yeah. So we're coming up. My father used to say about this time of the year that Christmas is at our throats again, and he felt that it was a pain in the ass. But then again, we're Jewish, so I guess how are all of you celebrating Christmas in some way? I imagine Kevin has to. It's law, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be here on Friday, right? In your Santa Claus outfit.
Either tomorrow or Friday, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you're going to have your little elf with you?
I'm not sure. She might have to sit on my lap, and I'll have this device in my back, so I don't know.
When are you getting that device?
Thursday morning.
The device in your back.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, Kevin, I had a customer today that told me that he had Parkinson's disease, and he didn't look like he had it. He wasn't shaking. So I said, I saw this Ray Donovan thing where one of the brothers had Parkinson's, and they inserted this box in his chest that sent an electrical impulse, and it stopped the Parkinson's. He says, I've got one, and he opens up his shirt and shows me the scar. And so I guess maybe this electronic thing that they're putting in for you is a technology that really works. And
they say it does. It's this thing, Nevro 10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, does your insurance?
About this big. It's about that big.
Yeah. Does your insurance?
But they're only going to tape it to me first for a week.
I see. Does the insurance pay for it? Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it now, because they're paying for it, you know, before the end of the year.
Where they tape it to you, because if they don't pay for it, they pull the tape off and take it back.
Yeah, if I run, you know, they can yank it out while I'm running.
We got a runner. We got a runner.
We got a runner.
No, probably because they want to make sure it works before they insert it in it.
I've got to have a 50% pain reduction.
Speaking of that, I used to feel the same way about my penis. So I wanted to tape it.
Maybe I can rearrange it and put it in a different place, and it'll.
That sounds sick.
Get a 50% increase.
Yes, Jeff.
Yeah, I was curious from Kenneth. Where's the location? Where the pain
they're putting
is right
it down
now?
by my L5, I think.
Okay. Interesting.
Wow.
Like the lower back?
Yeah, it's going to my lower back, and they're going to attach it to a couple of nerves that go up to my brain and down to my legs.
Oh, yeah. Now, does it always work, or like with the one I saw on Ray Donovan, the guy had a remote control to turn it up and turn it down?
Really, a remote?
Well, supposedly they can do that over the phone for the temporary one. They can increase it and decrease it, and then once I get the permanent one in there, they just set it. I guess they can reprogram it.
With the addition of John Rockwell, we have a full house here.
Wow. Happy birthday, Alex.
Thank you very much, John. Scott Boddicker, are you still there?
Scott got a haircut. He's
no camera.
He lost all the hair.
Scott, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just muted.
Oh, okay, because we can't see your
camera's
picture.
off too.
Your camera's off.
Yeah, I know. I just. It's okay.
What wedding?
I'm not saying anything anyway. Don't worry about it.
What wedding was that a picture of? I guess it's one of your daughters, right?
Yeah.
Are those all your daughters?
Yes, all mine.
Oh, wow.
Did you have any boys?
Did you have any boys?
No, I did not.
Oh, boy. So you were in a house full of nothing but women.
Yeah, I have a boy dog now, finally, a male dog.
I feel your pain, Scott. I feel your pain.
Scott moved to a new house a few months ago. How are you enjoying that?
It's okay, but it's small.
Yeah. Is it easier to take care of, than all that acreage you had?
Yeah, it's a lot easier. But it's, I don't know.
With four women in the house, he needed...
It's growing on me. It's change. I don't like change.
With four women in the house, he needed more bathrooms, right?
Well, there's only two of us now, so we're okay. I'm saying, I got one, he's got one, we're fine.
But where you were, you had to have enough bathrooms to take care of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
How many bathrooms do you have in the house?
The other one had 4.
See,
wow.
one for each woman. So where did you?
No,
I guess. As long as Scott didn't have to pee.
I just go outside.
That's why you had to move.
You know something?
Contamination.
I don't know where it is Tony lives, but it's the noisiest street in the world. I just saw the car go by with the siren blaring.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of muggings going around now.
Really?
It's nice. Yeah. There's a lot of muggings going on around here. I lock the doors now. I thank God.
It's that
Tony, go outside and hold your wallet in your hand.
I'm telling you, they can shoot me in a minute for my $10. Not even a question is.
It's a mugging time of the year.
Yeah. It's crazy over here now. It's
too cold to mug anybody in New York.
You're probably right, but I'm telling you, they're like vultures over here, I think. There's always cops flying by at night. It's getting bad. Yeah. They're worse than my mother right now. She's driving me crazy, I'll tell you that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not.
Are you almost regretting the fact that she didn't have something really wrong with her?
I tell you the truth. I thought about something you said, Alex, a while back, and I was talking to my brother. I feel bad for her because what she's going through, and I mean, I know they can help her, but I kind of feel bad because now I think she's forgetting now a little bit, like at night. Like, I gave her medicine. She's like, "Did you give me my medicine?" I said, "I gave you at 6 o'clock."
Tony, it's just the way you say things, because already I forgot what you were talking about.
It's like, she's driving me crazy. So I said, "Ma, I gave it to you." And I show her the pill box. "Oh, okay, maybe you did." "Ma, it's not there. Tuesday PM is gone."
Anybody have anything technical they want to talk about?
Hey, maybe we should have a Gabnet mugging. Hey, Tony, you got a quarter?
Yeah.
What you mean you ain't got no quarter?
Take a drop by the tree, I can tell you that.
All I find.
But you don't live in a dangerous neighborhood, do you?
No, it's when you walk. I'll tell you one thing: when you walk towards the Queens Boulevard, it starts turning a little bit. It gets a little seedy, like the other side is like 10 minutes from me.
Like are there a lot of people there, as you referred to them in a letter I saw that you wrote to Shecky, that you called coloreds?
No, actually, no. It's kind of like, I'm afraid of the whiteys, really, to tell you the truth.
I think Queens Boulevard was named for old gay people.
Right. All the gay people are on Queens Boulevard.
Yeah,
right?
old gay people.
Boulevard of death. It's like if you walk 10 minutes down and go towards 61st Street, it's starting to change. Like, it's rough. It's not rough like they're going to kill you, but I wouldn't want to live over there, I can tell you that. Like, there's bars all over the windows.
Hey, do the Muslims live across the street from you?
That's that deli. Anybody who goes in there.
Settle down, Tony. Settle down. I just
get a little nervous around here. It's my mother. She drives me crazy.
Yeah. And then because your mother drives you crazy, you drive us crazy about your mother.
She succeeded, Tony.
I don't know. My sister just called me. How is she doing? The same as before. She's sleeping.
All right, Tony. Enough is enough. We heard it.
Because I'm going crazy.
You're driving me nuts.
Oh, sorry. It's your birthday.
That's my birthday. Yes, Jeff.
See, I grew up in Queens, and I always thought that the craziest person in the world was Trump from Queens.
Yeah, right.
But now Tony's getting close.
Yeah, I think it's my nerve.
Tony's inching in.
Getting closer, right? Yeah.
He's got his finger on the button.
Hey, let me ask Josh a question, because anytime it's stuff about the law and about courts and things like that, he's our go-to guy. Let me ask you, Josh, this decision today by this judge not to sentence Kelly. Flynn. I get them mixed up. Both have Irish names. Flynn. Why did he do that?
Well, I think they just delayed it today, didn't they?
Yeah, they delayed it, but why? What?
They said that he was not going to sentence a man who he doesn't think might be not guilty. He doesn't think is guilty. He doesn't think that Flynn got a fair shake.
No, that's not the way I read it.
There's a lot of conservatives that are saying that Sullivan was wrong in doing that.
That's not the way I read it. I read it that he felt that Flynn, literally, he was wondering why he wasn't being tried for treason.
Yeah, where'd you get your news from?
Where'd you get your information?
He's going to judge.
And he said, I could if I were to sentence you right now, you would not be happy with the sentence. So you have the ability to put it off. But no, he wasn't putting anybody down for not giving him due process. He was putting people down for not getting enough.
I thought they said that he was framed.
No, that was Trump.
Trump is.
He's confused.
Trump framed him.
Have we got this wrong, Josh? Are you familiar with the situation?
I don't know if we have it wrong. We as a group might not have it wrong. One individual among this group might have it wrong.
One?
I mean, I was watching the news today when that happened, and because I'm off for a few days, so I was home, and the impression I got was that the sentencing was delayed at the request of the prosecution,
right?
And the indication was that they're going to delay it further because he's still cooperating. So they feel like he still has more to offer. And, you know, I mean,
but also,
despite what Donald Trump thinks, this is not a new phenomenon. The more people cooperate, the more help they get at sentencing. So because he's not done yet, I think they just basically decided to wait. So for all the people running around and saying, well, you know, Michael Cohen, he's just singing like a bird to get time knocked off of his sentence or whatever. I mean, okay, but apparently he's not the only one, you know. So that was why I thought they delayed it.
Yeah, and I also it looked like the judge wasn't of a desire to go along with the plea agreement and take that into consideration.
Yeah, it did appear like the judge, you know, was ready to sentence, and it didn't sound like he was going to go along with their no jail time thing, which, as far as I know, he has the right to, you know, to do. But most sensible judges will, you know, say, even though I don't like this, you know, we don't typically step in the way of plea agreements because it could, you know, hurt prosecutors down the road.
The only thing that the judge asked Flynn was, were you coerced into taking this plea in exchange for whatever? And Flynn said, no, absolutely not. And so therefore the judge said, well, then, you know, I feel I have to sentence you to something because I'm surprised that you haven't had treason thrown at you.
Right.
You know, and they chose to let him wait till March 13th or something to make his decision. But you're wrong, Phil. Everybody,
if you look at the headline, it says Michael Flynn sentencing postponed after judge issues blistering rebuke. Now that's CNN.
The rebuke was of Flynn, though, not of the prosecution.
Mentioned treasonous.
Yeah, you basically let your country down, is what they said.
No, he said, did they consider trying him for treason?
Yeah,
and that was one of the questions.
Yeah, so you're looking to make what you said right, and you can't find it, can you?
I'll find
even
it.
Fox was saying.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
This is a topsy-turvy world we live in.
Yeah,
you know, where hookers are a legitimate profession, where abortion is good and killing the unborn is good. You know, it's a topsy-turvy world.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll find it.
Even your own network was trashing him.
Yeah. Well, that's because he flipped.
No, but Trump seemed to love him. Today he had a tweet that went, "Good luck on your sentencing today." You know.
Well, you know,
Trump goes up to his cabinet and he goes, you know, this thing of ours, just like the mafia.
Yeah.
You know, this thing of ours, it's more important than anybody, any family. The family comes first.
Right, you dirty
and you're a rat. If you talk, you're a rat.
Yeah, you're a rat.
A dirty rat.
Well, I mean,
dirty.
All of what he does seems to have a patina of mobsterism.
He's from Queens.
Are you going to be
that way?
Are you going to be loyal to me? Are you going to be loyal to me? Take the loyalty oath. Oh, Omerta. Let's have the Omerta.
Yeah.
You know, hey, Jeff, you were born in Queens.
Yes.
Do you have a ball peen hammer?
Of course.
Of course.
The blood-stained handle.
Yeah. Oh boy.
It's issued at birth.
Here you go. Here's the rattle. Here's the hammer. Here's the gun.
Yeah. They don't give you a baby rattle. They give you a ball peen.
So, John Rockwell, what's new in your life? John?
Oh, I didn't realize you were talking to me. I was actually going on YouTube.
I specifically said John Rockwell.
See if I could find.
What are you
see if I
doing,
could find the Godfather music at this point to run. Now, all right, we'll dump Safari out of here. Well, what is new in my life? I don't know. Now, you know, keep busy anyway, which is good.
Yeah.
He's talking about growing up or different neighborhoods in Manhattan or in New York back in the day. when I started working for you back in the 70s, I lived in Brooklyn about, 3 or 4 blocks from Pratt Institute, which is in what's now, well, it was Fort Greene, but it was now called Clinton Hill. Thing is, everybody around that area, a lot of the apartments and everything were cut up into dorm rooms for the students, because they had like one big dorm and that was about it, and a lot of students. The thing is, there was nothing else to do in the area. If you walked about 5 or 6 blocks in the wrong direction, you basically went to where Biggie Smalls grew up. You know, it's like, hello, we're not going there.
It must be where Tony says the coloreds live.
Yeah. Now, of course, it's all gentrified or more gentrified. They've got Italian, Cuban restaurants and German restaurants. It's like, why did I even leave? Now it's really nice there. But now I'm here on the semi-posh Upper East Side, and it's just a whole different thing. But when I first got here, my parents came to visit me when I first got here in the mid-'70s, and they drove up and they drove through the neighborhood to get to my place, and they're just like, where are you? Hello, where do we go? So, yeah.
So anyway, in the news, it looks like what's his name isn't going to get $150 million, $120 million, 150.
Which is what's his name?
Moonves.
Oh yeah.
He's not getting his.
Because they say they won't say what it was, but that he went against his contract.
I thought it was still part of that, screwing around with women or something,
Yeah, well, it has to do with that. But the thing is that he is.
Well, the man's not poor. I mean, come on.
No, he was making.
I think he had 75 billion or something. Billion or something.
No,
so Moonves gets nothing, and Weinstein's going to walk.
Well, is he? I don't think he's going to walk.
Well, when you're talking about Weinstein walking, you're talking about walking from criminal prosecution.
Right.
Moonves hasn't been
not
hit
civil,
with any,
definitely.
Hey, if he doesn't get the 120 million, it is criminal. That's for him.
Well, I'm not going to feel sorry for him, but I don't think he's going to let it just happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think he's going to let it just go without turning around and suing CBS.
Especially since there's been no due process.
Well, I mean, what they're claiming is that he had to, in order to get the 120 million, I think it was, he had to not do anything that was illegal or bad or whatever, and that he didn't help in the investigation, that he lied during the investigation, and he destroyed evidence.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been convicted of anything.
He's free now to join the Trump administration.
Yeah.
He's got all the qualifications.
He's got all the qualifications. Yeah. Yeah. No, but he, what I loved about this whole thing, I said this the other night, was being able to pick up the New York Times, the reputable New York Times, the pinnacle of American journalism, and be able to read a description of what this woman said went on with Les Moonves. Well, he took my head and shoved it down on his penis. That was in the New York Times.
All the news that's fit to print.
And if this whole thing
you see their ads, the truth matters.
It hasn't come to anything. It's worth it for that.
Sure.
Right.
The P word finally gets put out on.
No, but more than that, a real graphic description of what
definitely.
went on.
Wow.
Which was amazing. Just amazing. So the fact that happened, it means there's some good in all of this. But it turns out that Moonves wasn't that nice a guy.
Guess not.
I don't think any of those guys are that nice.
Well, you know what it is? I think if they were nice guys, people wouldn't be throwing them to the wolves.
Yeah.
If they sit around waiting for something like this to happen. And by the way, I got a Christmas card from somebody who was I won't say who it was, a big player in all of this, who lost his job over at CBS because of improprieties.
Didn't you say that you knew somebody who was like a neighbor or something, and he was an executive at CBS, a big executive, and there was some impropriety?
When? Recently?
No, a couple of years ago.
No.
The guy was head of a network or something.
Well, I knew we lived in an apartment when we first came to New York. Yeah. We lived in Riverdale. We lived in an apartment, and my wife, Ronnie at the time, got to know a woman in the building.
Right.
And she was married to the president of ABC.
Okay, that's the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And one night, she had been on a soap opera. And he married her, found her, married her, and made her his wife. And she came down one night, and she was, I think she was pregnant at the time, and she was drunk out of her mind.
Not a good idea.
And she comes down to my place, and my friend Michael O'Donoghue, if you all remember who Michael O'Donoghue was there.
National
and we were all
Lampoon.
sitting around just talking. And all of a sudden, she knocks on the door, and she walks in, and she's crying her eyes out. She just, her husband treats her like shit, and blah, 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 blah. And then she starts going into what is nothing but just pure soap opera language. Love? What does he know of love? He actually said that. Love? What does he know of love? And then she sits down between me and Michael. And then she all of a sudden starts jumping on me.
Or was she just excited?
She had a certain and Ronnie is there. Okay, I'm married.
Hello.
And this woman is jumping me, and I'm looking at Ronnie like, I don't know, the cat in those Pepe Le Pew cartoons when they don't like being held, And I'm going, I'm not touching her, And finally, she notices that I'm not going to do anything. She jumps on Michael. And finally, she passes out. And we all drag her up to her apartment. And we get back into our apartment. And Michael O'Donoghue looks at me and says, I've been writing parodies about this kind of stuff, about novels that are like this. He said, I didn't realize till now they're all true.
I remember it was some that story you told a long time ago.
He was the president of ABC. And when I was at ABC, I never got fired, and I often wondered why. And I thought maybe it was because I knew something. He knew I knew something.
Well, Summer Redstone, they said is now it doesn't have any capacity. I guess people have taken over for him. That
his daughter, I think, is running the company.
Yeah. So all of these big executives, her name is Sherry, falling like flies.
Sherry Redstone, and she wanted. She and what's his name, the former head of CBS,
Moonves.
Were fighting over control of the company.
Right.
Okay. And she was doing everything she could to get control of the company. And a lot of people believe that this came out as a result of her trying to get rid of Moonves, and it did it effectively.
Well, did you? I saw a picture of Summer Redstone today, and he does look.
Sumner.
He does look Sumner. The only person that looks worse than him was Keith Richards.
Yeah. Well, Sumner Redstone's a really old guy.
Yeah.
Really old guy. The fact that he held on that long, but he's not capable of running the company anymore. He's just out of it.
Anybody hear the other really big news coming out of the New York State Attorney General's office today?
Yep.
Oh, the Trump Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that special?
Well, it's just another way to distribute the money. It's socialism.
Hide the money.
They're going to make them give away all the money.
Did you hear the charges?
No.
Yeah, the charges are that...
You don't want to hear the charges, Phil, but listen
No, you really don't. It says here, the the dissolution of the Donald J. Trump Foundation resolves one element of the Attorney General's civil lawsuit against the foundation, which includes claims that the president and his 3 eldest children, Donald Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, violated campaign finance laws and abused its tax-exempt status. Rather than operating it as a genuine charity, the lawsuit alleges they instead allowed it to be used as little more than a checkbook to serve Mr. Trump's business and political interests.
Well, then he'll have to pay a fine.
Not only did they do that, and that's just part of it. They've also banned any of them, those people I just mentioned, from ever being on the board of any charity again.
Well, that won't be a problem. Is closed. That won't be a problem, you know.
No, because they don't do anything charitable. They started the foundation. Yeah, and what's going on with the Clinton Foundation?
Well, the best one was Trump Foundation paid $10,000 for a portrait of Donald Trump to be.
I thought it was 25,000.
No,
it might have been.
I think it was 10,000, and to hang in Mar-a-Lago. The cheapest one was the Trump philanthropy paid $14 to the Boy Scouts of America for their.
Somehow I just don't put Trump and philanthropy together.
Yeah. But they spent $14 on a Boy Scout membership for what's his name, Barron. Yes.
Did he pay for that out of the fund, the Trump Trust?
Yep. Yes, Patrick.
No, thank you, no washi.
I think the word you're looking for is philandering on Trump.
It starts with Phil, and we won't get into that, Phil.
Yeah, well, you know, I told you that Rudy Giuliani told me that he paid off an anonymous donation. The 2 cops that were killed in Brooklyn a couple of years ago, they were assassinated in their car, and he paid off the mortgages for their widows. And you know, why would he lie? Why would he come up with something like that? If
what did he pay for it?
No, this is Giuliani saying.
Yeah, but what did he pay for it with?
Even better. Yeah, even better.
Say again?
What did he pay for it with?
It was probably from that trust, you know, or that charity.
Was that what that trust was set up to do? That sort of thing.
I don't know. You know.
Well, I mean, it depends on how they were incorporated and so on.
They were all rubles anyway.
Does anybody know anything about that sort of thing? You know,
not really.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah.
But I remember the incident, but I don't remember anything after that. A lot of people did contribute to various, you know, supportive campaigns for the families.
You know, I said something.
I'm glad he did. I mean, I hope he did.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the guy was mayor for a while. He has a New York connection. I mean, it's nice of him to do that. Doesn't mean he's doing all that great now. It's just he did that.
You know,
that's why I feel. Like, whatever.
It was long before he, you know, before he was president.
About a year and a half back.
I thought Giuliani paid off.
No. Trump did it. Giuliani.
Oh, I thought Giuliani paid off. You know.
No, because Giuliani is involved with a organization called the Stephen Stiller Tunnel of Towers. And so am I. And you know, Frank Stiller.
Oh, it's excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Giuliani is involved with that, and so am I, and the organization I'm part of, and that's how I was able to meet him. And
okay. Yeah.
God,
do you know?
I would love to meet Rudy Giuliani. I've always desired to be within spitting distance of him.
I was sitting in a bar in my neighborhood when Giuliani was still mayor, and the bar had their TVs on. It was like 11 o'clock news was on. A live shot of Giuliani with, at that time, the woman who was like the girlfriend, you know, walking up 2nd Avenue in my neighborhood, right in front of our bar, and all of us looked around like, oh shit, we should go. No, we didn't. You know, it's like, we dismissed him. You know, he was right outside our door.
Hey,
you know, with a woman that he wasn't supposed to be with. You know? What the heck? You know?
Well, he married her later on, and
Yeah, well, yeah, good for him, but still, it was a little freaky.
Like the night that I was driving.
Wait a minute, I know where that is.
Like the night that I was driving down through New York City in my car, when I had a car in New York City, in the days when you could have a car in New York City, and I'm driving down the street, and the car next to me, all of a sudden, I notice it's a guy I know, and peripherally. And the guy is Geraldo Rivera. Oh. And there's his head bobbing up and down.
Oh, shit.
And
she was looking for her contact lens.
And I look over at him, and then he looks over at me and realizes, of course, that he knows me and I know him. And I just
and
went,
he knows, and you know what's happening.
Yeah, and I just looked at him and went, I gave him the okay sign,
Good for you, man. Yeah.
But at the time, he was married to Kurt Vonnegut's daughter.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah.
Maybe not for much longer at that point. I don't know.
What are you doing,
exactly.
Patrick? It's his impression of Geraldo
Thank you,
Rivera. By the way, what's this?
Got the visuals from Patrick. I like that.
By the way,
now that you said that, Alex, that's the one thing that having hand controls in the car makes them possible, because there's no room for that sort of thing to occur. And believe me, it's been attempted, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, but
you need a bigger car.
Well, yeah, that would work. But how do you said damn it, that never happened with the hand control. So.
Now, did you hear about this?
Can't you just push the seat back? You don't need to. Your feet don't need to reach the pedal.
It's all the way back.
Can't you get a hand control that does the deed for you?
That's a different kind of hand control.
I wonder if we go and get one of these carts at Costco, if I can ride with her and get a blowjob in the cart as we're going through Costco.
That would be cool. See, the problem with me is I've got the suicide knob on the wheel.
Oh, I see.
So that's how I turn, so I'd be banging her in the head every time I'd be...
Yeah.
Well, that's the idea.
You got to get on the highway where you got to go on the highway where you're going straight from.
Well, every kid, when I was growing up and we all had cars in Marin County, all of us had a suicide knob on the steering wheel. So when we were driving, we could put our arm around the girl.
No, it's because you had to turn the wheel 23 times just to make a left.
Well, those wheels were like this.
Yeah.
Like driving a yacht. So anyway, did you hear about this? I didn't know about this till I read it earlier. Some advertisers are exiting a Fox News Channel show over controversial comments made by the host. Tucker Carlson is under fire after saying that immigrants could make the U.S. poorer and dirtier.
Oh, there we go.
So far, the show's biggest advertisers appear to be sticking with him in his primetime show, Tucker Carlson tonight, but adding that the experts say the controversy is likely to blow over. Carlson said last Thursday that there was pressure from our leaders to accept immigrants, even if it makes our own country poorer and dirtier and more divided.
Well, that's the Build a Wall Foundation is his newest advertiser.
The Build a Wall?
Yeah. Build a Wall Foundation.
Yeah.
Walls are us.
Walls are us.
Walmart. Yeah.
So that's the latest.
Real Walmart. Yeah.
At least 16 companies have stopped advertising on Carlson's program. The publication reported a list that includes Career Builder, Takeda Pharmaceuticals, makers of NTVO, TD Ameritrade, IHOP, the United Explorer credit card, Just for Men, Jaguar, Land Rover, Ancestry.com, Scott eVest, Zenni Optical, and Voya Financial, along with Bowflex, Smile Direct Club, Nerd Wallet, Minted, and Pacific Life. Later on Tuesday, Fox issued another statement saying it wouldn't allow Carlson to be censored by agenda-driven intimidation efforts. Well, in a while they're going to have to do something about that. You know, because
he sure has pissed off a lot of customers.
Yeah.
Hey, they got some extra cash. Maybe they'll use it on Gabnet.
Right. Well, you know, it's unfortunate that advertisers are trying to use their money as a bully pulpit to silence, differing opinions.
Phil, that is fucking bullshit, Phil. When somebody spends money to advertise, they're spending money to be on somebody's program. They're not there as a public service to anybody, and if they feel that where they're advertising is going to diminish their reputation in the eyes of the public, they can drop their advertising. You know, you're equating as a Republican. I'm surprised you even said something like that. Yes,
well, I'm for free speech. You know, and it's just
it has nothing to do with free
speech. Speech is free as long as you agree with it.
No. If you can get yourself in trouble with it,
huh? What?
You could get yourself in trouble with free speech, like he did. He has the right to say what he says, but people don't have a right not to support it. That's all.
They have right not to spend money if they don't feel they're going to get their money's worth. Yes, Patrick.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that they're spending money, so as capitalists, they can decide where they want to spend their money. And an example I'll give you, Phil, is here in Milwaukee on the conservative radio station that I listen to all the time. There are liberal organizations in Milwaukee that they pride themselves on being liberal that advertise on the conservative station because they provide a product that it goes across party lines. That, you know, so they know where they're spending their money. So I mean,
toilet paper.
No, it's a spice. They do spices.
McCormick.
What's that?
Is it McCormick?
No, it's a smaller company. Well, they decide to spend money, and some of the hosts on the channel, they rip them left and right because of their political views and what they do. Yet they'll spend money for advertising.
Well, it's like what they did to Chick-fil-A. The guy who was the head of Chick-fil-A says he's
no, Phil,
not
that was different though. Well, no, Phil, completely different situation. You're not talking about advertisers being dropped. You're talking about a boycott against a particular company and not to go and buy their product. Okay. Wait a minute. This is entirely different. This is you're saying that because people don't want to advertise, that's fighting freedom of speech. I'm sorry. It isn't freedom of speech to buy time. It isn't, you can, if you don't feel that you want to be in a certain atmosphere, let's say let's say Tucker Carlson raped somebody, okay? They don't want to be in that atmosphere. Would you consider that wrong that they don't want to advertise?
I guess if you're the Weinstein Company, you'd want to advertise on that.
No, you always have to make a joke out of everything, Phil. But
I see your point.
You get what I'm saying? Two different things, Phil. But the thing is,
I see your point.
I'll tell you where I had the converse of that, and then Patrick had his hand up. The converse of that, the reverse of that, was when I was when I was doing radio in San Francisco, and I had a very popular show. A Republican Party wanted to buy time on my show during an election time to pay, to advertise for their candidates. And so I let it go on. And they said to me, people would say to me, how can you let the Republicans advertise on your show? I said, anybody can advertise on my show. As long as they have a reputable product, anybody can advertise. I'm not going to tell the Republicans they can't advertise on my show. If they want to waste their money being on a lefty show like mine, I'm not going to hold it against them,
Although your show in San Francisco wasn't really lefty. I don't think it was very political.
It was. Later on, it got quite political.
Later on?
Yeah, at Live 105, it became quite political. Yes, Patrick, you had your hand up.
I was getting my coffee cup.
No, but earlier you had your hand up and I didn't go to you, I think. Or did I?
Yeah, I already yapped. I already said basically what you said. We've got left organizations in Milwaukee that advertise on a conservative station.
Yeah.
That's up to them if they want to spend their money.
Yeah. If what were you going to say, Rob?
Back in the early days of television and radio, it was way worse because, Philip Morris was the sponsor of I Love Lucy, and they really had something to say about the content of the program.
Ray Renati, if you're trying to call, I can't add you. We
have a royal flush.
We have a royal flush, and after that, I can't fit it on the screen. Okay, so Ray, please call back tomorrow night. We'll probably need you since we'll only.
I can hang up if you want, Alex.
If you want to hang up, and we can let
Because
Ray
I will
call.
check on her just to make sure she's okay.
Okay, thank you, Tony.
Happy birthday.
I'm sure Ray will appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, Ray, you can call back now. Okay, all right. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me.
And there's Jack. Hey, Jack.
Let me.
Hey, King.
How are you?
And then let me add. Here we go. There we go. There's Ray Renati.
Yeah.
Hey.
There he is.
Okay, and Bree is calling. I'm sorry, Bree. I can't take your call. I cannot take your call, Bree.
There's the noise.
Huh?
There's noise somewhere.
Yeah, there is some noise. Oh, I know what. Why? Because Ray is at the gym, and we just lost him.
Uh-oh.
Oh. And
frozen.
I hung up. Well, here, let me.
There he is.
There we go.
He's back.
Let me bring.
Sorry.
Yay.
I had to switch off a Wi-Fi.
Bree? Oh boy. Look at what happened here. Look at what happened here. We lost everybody. Wow. Huh. Well, that's something. Let me see. What happens if I try to call all these people? Okay. Here we go. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. And here we go.
Everybody got hung up on?
No. Everybody's trying to call back using the same thing, though. You have to call back individually. I don't know what happened. When I tried to put Bree on, everything just like went south.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Skype blew up.
Skype blew up. Yes. Let me see here.
From having a better than full house, a royal flush, down to nobody for the last 15 minutes.
Down to nobody, just you and me.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Maybe I can call Patrick back. Maybe I can do that. Let me add him to the group call. Let me see if Patrick, if I can call Patrick and see if he picks up. I don't know. We have no idea. Oh, boy. Well, this sort of thing happens.
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah. Oh, well, I won't hold on to him because he's not picking up. So
maybe they can't call back.
Maybe they.
It's hard to believe that Phil wouldn't be called back by now.
Yeah. Let me see here. Let me try.
Nobody has tried.
Yeah, nobody. Let me add Phil here. Let me see what happens if I call Phil. Nobody's calling back. Wow.
You can't call Phil?
Huh?
You can't add Phil?
I'm trying to add Phil, but he's not coming on. Oh, there we go. There's Ray Renati. Ray Renati helped break the bank. Hello, Ray.
Hey.
Are you there? There's Ray. Phil, are you there? Phil's been, here comes Patrick. Okay, there's Patrick. All righty. So we're starting to get. Here comes Kevin again.
We were all on another little deal. There were about 6 of us hanging.
No,
that's why nobody was calling.
We're back.
Why was nobody?
Someone's calling me.
Why was nobody calling? Did you say?
Because they were all on another call. They were all on their own private kind of call there.
Yeah.
And then they just tried to call
me. Well, whoever tries to call me back, make it a fresh call. Do not call using the past group.
Well, you found out that if you get 12 callers, it breaks it.
Well,
you think that's what happened? Do you think that's what happened?
I think that's what.
Yeah, because they all got. It all went back to that group calls.
As soon as I went to Bree.
Oops. Sorry.
As soon as I went to Bree, it crashed.
That's
Just
what happened.
Absolutely crashed.
Gotta be nice.
Huh?
Damn it.
Because what happened was we went to the call with Bree and dumped all you guys.
Oh.
See, and I got hung up on completely. I didn't get on anybody else's call.
Wow.
No, but we ended up on Bree's call.
Interesting.
Now my screen just readjusted itself.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Then there's Jack Bishop.
Okay.
Jack's calling.
Well,
am I still here?
Yeah.
John said he was going to bed.
Okay.
Who said he was going to bed?
John
Rockwell.
Oh, John Rockwell. Okay, I understand that. Now here comes Bree.
Yeah, so he'll have
he
room.
said sorry. He's left me a note saying sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Well, we have room for him now.
We have room for you now, Bree.
Yeah, but see, that was when everything crashed because I saw that text going on. It said, "Okay, I understand. Sorry," and then all of a sudden, Bree came on, and everybody else connected to that call, and you guys disappeared.
Yeah, he hijacked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what you get for not adding him to the call.
Oh, I have no idea, but we had
It
so
all
many.
went to his call.
That literally would have made it 12 people, which I can't.
Yeah.
I can't fit.
Well, you've had.
It's
13.
really easy to call the old.
Yeah, an old one. You've had 13 at once on a video call.
Do you?
Yeah,
know
but that was before new Skype.
Do you know which we can't do here because not all of you have Macs, but with FaceTime you can now have 32 people on at the same time.
And I bet the quality is awesome.
Okay, here comes Bree. Bree will not break the bank now. See, there we go.
He probably didn't break it last time.
No, he didn't break it last time.
So Alex,
Hey,
I
Al.
can hijack your show anytime.
What'd you say, Bree?
I can hijack your show apparently.
Apparently, you know.
When you're number 13, yeah.
Yes, Jack.
And I just want to say this is one time you can't blame me for the technical breakdown.
No, I
will still blame you anyway, Jack.
It was the black guy.
Yeah, of course. Hey, look, I just wanted to say happy birthday, Alex. You look as good as you looked in 1959 when I met you.
Really?
It means he didn't look so good.
Oh, that must have, yeah. Everybody was saying, hey, that's a pretty old-looking young guy over there. Yeah.
But I
Happy
heard you guys
birthday! Oh, it's your
talking
birthday!
about,
Happy birthday!
heard you guys talking about the selling of advertising. And, at one time, Dallas had a local progressive talker that I was manager of. And we ran into the problem any number of times where advertisers would say, we don't want to advertise with you guys because, A, I don't want my friends to know that I advertise on your station.
Well, you know something? I'm going to hand it to Fox because, standing up for him, in spite of the fact of a lot of advertisers leaving because of comments that Tucker Carlson has made, I think is what I would do if I had a radio station and we were doing political stuff and a bunch of advertisers wanted to quit because they didn't agree with our message. Then I'd say, if you want to leave, leave, but I'm not firing the people that make these comments. I'm not changing the format or the political outlook to keep you happy. But, so I have to, on the other hand, hand it to Fox for towing the line, although they may eventually tow themselves to the line to poverty,
We just see how long they do that, because they might succumb to the pressure.
It's all about money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is all about, bottom line, it is all about money. Yes, Bree.
Speaking about money, I don't know if you covered this in the last couple of shows, but the Elisa Dushku, Michael Weatherly CBS instance, where she got $9.5 million because they didn't hire her for Bull.
She alleged that she was harassed and let go after three shows, and she got the $9.5 million for the shows that she would have been in if they hadn't let her go.
But who was she harassed by?
The guy who was the star in Bull. I don't know his name.
And
Michael Weatherly.
And he still got
he
his.
He used to be married to Jessica Alba.
So they paid out $9.3 million, and he still got a job.
Looks that way.
Well, I guess they'll take it out of Les Moonves's retirement fund there.
Yeah.
But I when I read that, I don't know about that. since then, a couple of other women actors have come to his defense. But I don't know, like the sequence of events that occurred, it was something to the effect that, I don't know, I thought it was kind of a pretty big payout for that situation. And ultimately he apologized, and I guess he's apologized again. And so I'm wondering, how do we resolve those things, Because if every time you make a crass joke or that fails or, that's not appropriate, do we just pay it off, or I don't know, moving forward, because she's not the only one. So I don't know, did she just have a better lawyer?
It could be that CBS didn't want to fight the fight that it would take to win the fight. They felt they would look better if they just paid the $9.3 million, because they're also just being besieged by all these accusations because of Moonves and a lot of other things. Supposedly the sexual climate at 60 Minutes has been in great question at the present.
There was Rose. There was the other guy.
There was a 60
Matt
Minutes
Lauer.
deal. Well, that's over at NBC.
He wasn't in 60 Minutes.
No, but
Well, I have to believe that there were other things going
But
on.
Rose was on CBS, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
I could imagine a scenario where Eliza Dushku went to Les Moonves to complain, and then he made it worse,
Yeah.
So
I recently heard that
Exactly.
Andy Rooney was doing some nasty things to the girls there.
Yeah, but he's dead. So, you can't dig him out of the grave and take away his
I'm
pension.
kidding. Andy Rooney didn't do anything.
Well,
I met Andy Rooney, and he was not a nice guy.
Charles Kuralt.
No.
Remember
Yeah.
Charles Kuralt on the road? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it seems that while he was on the road, he had like 3 different wives. He was
yeah, I read that.
Yeah. So, nobody's perfect. Yes, Jack.
Well, you see, we're living in a different time.
Or maybe they are.
We're living at a different time. There was a time when you could buy somebody and they'd stay bought. You buy their silence.
Yeah.
And now, because of the intrusive nature of the 24-hour news cycle, and everybody wants some recognition, you can't buy somebody and be sure that they're going to stay bought.
Yeah. By the way, I have another story here I want to mention quickly because I always suspected this. Everybody here see the movie Manhattan? Woody Allen's Manhattan?
I was going to mention that article.
Well, when I first saw that movie, I had been going with a woman who it turned out I did not know at the time. I thought she was older, who was 17. And so I had experienced a relationship with, say, a 17-year-old. And when I watched this movie, I said, Woody Allen's been fucking a 16 or 17-year-old. I said, he had it all right, okay? And it turns out now that's exactly what was going on. Her name was Christine Engelhardt. She was a teenage model.
She wrote that article.
She was 16 years old at the time. And he wound up having an 8-year affair with her on and off, including threesomes with Mia Farrow. And I said to myself when I read this, I knew it. I just knew it, because he had all the nuances of an older guy having to deal with a girl that young. And also the certain amount of innocence that she had. Oh, look, what is he showing?
Okay. That's Dubai now.
Yeah, that's the opening of Manhattan that he's showing. Don't do that. I'm going to get sued. Yes.
We'll never be sure about these teenage girls. I had an experience. I think it happened when my first wife was alive. I used to do these career day things at the Dallas Telecommunications Magnet School. And I did one, and this young girl came up to me and did everything but throw herself on me right then and there in the high school TV studio. And if I had have run into her on the street somewhere, I would have never guessed that she was 16, 17 years old.
Well, Christina Engelhardt says that the Mariel Hemingway character, at least partially, was based on her, and that she said she was the one who made the overture to him. He met her somewhere at something or another, and she asked for his autograph, and he gave her his autograph, and then she wrote him and said, "You want mine?" And started coming on to him, and they went on to have an affair for quite a while. So, and she doesn't say anything bad about him. She says that he, that she has no gripe against him. She's not saying this to get him in trouble. Okay.
And let's not forget, the same thing happens with women. There is a former Texas politician, a woman, who she was 36. The guy that she was hanging out with when I knew her, and she wasn't in politics at that time, she was going with this kid who was 19 years old. So I once asked her, "What do you and a 19-year-old find to talk about?" And she said, "Jack, a 19-year-old doesn't have to talk."
Yeah. But he was 19. In this case, this girl was, Engelhardt was 16.
I suspect that their affair started much earlier from just some indications that I got about the two of them.
And I love that headline, by the way, there, a drug-filled sex with...
there it is.
With a
schoolgirl model.
But it doesn't mention... we just lost Jack.
He probably has to go to work.
He has to go do his show, which is right after this one. That's kind of a prejudicial statement because it doesn't mention that Mia Farrow was involved in these sexual trysts. But it's just a fascinating story because it's something I always suspected. Having gone through something. I
read that article. It said that she was at a restaurant and she passed her. She said, it seems like you have to always get asked for an autograph, so here's mine.
Yeah.
And she wrote down her information.
One thing before you close.
Yeah.
Ray, can you sing They Say It's Your Birthday by the Beatles for Alex?
I'm in the gym.
He's in the gym.
So?
No.
All right.
No. No.
I'll get in trouble. I'm not even supposed to be on the phone.
No, I'm going to start playing the theme song now.
All right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Nah, well,
Happy birthday to you.
It was not much of a birthday. It just came and went,
They say
and
birthday.
I suppose it would have been better if it were like on a weekend or something like that.
Well, it is over. Now you're officially 1 year older because it's past midnight.
Mute yourself, Ray, because we can hear the air conditioning from that place. Anyway,
trying.
Hey, listen, we got to go here. Patrick, thank you so much. By the way, we won't be hearing from Brian for a while. He got work, and he won't be able to come on the show. So.
He didn't get arrested?
Alex, what's your schedule?
What's my schedule? What do you mean? We're doing shows this week, then we're off next week. Okay. We're off till the 2nd. Yeah, of January. No, the 2nd of July. We'll be off till the 2nd of July. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Kevin. Still a few more days before your little operation. And thank you, of course, to Bree, who is sitting there in Dubai. Lovely Dubai. Wave Dubai, Bree. Goodbye, Rob Alfano. Goodbye to Ray, and goodbye to Jeff Stein. Let's have them all wave a big goodbye to you. I'll wave goodbye to them. And then, there we go. Thanks for wishing me, a happy birthday. Wait a minute, I'm trying to get my picture on here. Hold on. I'm waving goodbye. Now you wave goodbye. There we go. Okay. Anyway, thanks to all of them. Rob Alfano, the whole gang. Just a great bunch of folks to hang out with. I'm Alex Bennett. Jack Bishop is next with the Intersection over most of the same station. And that will be followed by all of our shows repeating themselves over and over again till tomorrow night at 9:30. Well, actually at 8:30 when the franchise MC does the Arena, our sports show on Wednesday. And then at 9:30, it's The Exchange with Damian Chaplin. I'll be here again at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.